Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome to IRL News, where we discuss gaming news. The game in the background today is Final Fantasy X being played on an emulator on my PC. Yes, the days of 3:4 aspect ratio. The good times. This is probably the last good Final Fantasy game in my opinion. Anyway, what are we discussing today? For a start, we're discussing a lot of Ubisoft stuff. Now, I have been saying for a while that Ubisoft is a bit... well, they're following EA down the road of being a bit naff in a lot of places in a lot of regards. So, yeah. Unfortunately, they have nicked EA to this one. So, two things. Firstly, Ubisoft have said that there will be microtransactions in Assassin's Creed Unity, so the next big Assassin's Creed game. There will be microtransactions inside it. And it has been at least revealed to a certain extent, we're not sure if it's, fully true or whatever, that those are going to be, pay to unlock weapons or whatever early. Now, in the previous Assassin's Creed games, I remember them being, you get your weapon unlocked through the story. So I don't know how you'll be able to unlock them through the story in Assassin's Creed Unity if you can pay for them early, because either then, the campaign won't make sense because you'll already have the weapon that you're meant to be unlocking through some sort of quest, or you just won't have them mentioned to you. That's a bit weird, that you just have to design it now around that. But the bigger issue, of course, is, are they going to make the game somewhat unbalanced so you have to get the weapons early? Well, I hope not, but you never can be really too sure with microtransactions, and it has happened before that it turns out that, later unlocks are a lot better for, say, multiplayer games. Now, for a single-player game, it isn't as bad because, if they make it, ridiculously hard so that you need those weapons, it's not as bad as, say, ruining the entire balance of a multiplayer game. That said, I'm still a little bit worried. It's still, again, triple dipping. I mean, it's one of these things where I remember buying AAA games and being like, yes, I have bought the game. And I'm getting more and more the feeling these days, personally, that I am buying most of it and then I need to give extra money for things, especially when it comes to like DLC that's released very quickly or day one. And it's just a case of, well, I bought stuff and now I need to buy more stuff. With microtransactions like this, I'm not as fussed because it is, of course, an in-game, in-campaign, in-single player. It's going to unlock your weapon early. And honestly, I would never ever do that because it would completely ruin the game balance, because the game balance has to be designed around, not having those weapons till you unlock them. That's kind of the point. And if they muck with that balance and make it ridiculously hard, well then, that's just stupid. We'll have to see how they do it. As per usual, there is only bad that can come from it. There isn't anything good for a consumer that can come from allowing people to have weapons early, unless maybe, you want to cheat. But then again, I remember the time when you could have cheat codes that give you the weapons. I don't know why they need to do it with microtransactions. They don't need to do it with microtransactions, they just desperately want the money. Dollar, dollar, dollar. Second thing with Ubisoft is, well, they've said we are recommitting our support for PC. We are taking PC seriously. And this is what they've been saying at Gamescom. And, let's be honest, they've been saying this for many years. I mean, come on. Far Cry 3, massive hit, brilliant, really well-selling game. They went, alright, Far Cry 3 went really well, we're going to go all in on Far Cry 4. It was that good that they basically said, Far Cry 4, we're going to make a big thing. That was PC. That was PC mainly. I mean, yes, it came on the consoles, but it was focused and it was main developed for PC. I'm hoping that is maybe part of the reason why they're facing, okay, we need to recommit our support for PC, but they keep doing this at... every year they're like, we're going to support PC. And then we see, PC games coming out months and months and months after console games. We see, at least they've backed off on the DRM. We see, shoddy ports and so on. And it worries me a little bit because, well, they said, we're recommitting our support for PC. However, there's still the question of who Far Cry 4 is being developed by. Now, it looks like it's being developed by Ubisoft Montreal, who are responsible for Far Cry 3, but there is definite, work being farmed out to a couple of places, including places like Ubisoft Ukraine, so that'll be Ubisoft Kiev. Ubisoft Kiev, well, they're responsible for the PC ports of a few things like a number of the Tom Clancy games and the last two Assassin's Creed games, which were overall either okay or had bugs and were iffy on PC when they came. So I'm not exactly sure if we can really trust Ubisoft. No, we can't trust Ubisoft. Let me just clarify that. We can't trust Ubisoft when they say they're recommitting their support for PC, because they've said this time and time again and it's never been true. But they are claiming that, well, they're claiming at this point, we have seen this happen before again, that both Assassin's Creed Unity and Far Cry 4 will be coming out on PC and consoles at the same times. I think that's something like October and then November, I think, for the release dates. Or is it September, November? I can't remember. I'm not that fussed about Assassin's Creed games anymore. 1 and 2 were amazing. And then they looked a bit naff. So honestly, we can't really trust Ubisoft when it comes to this. They've said it time and time again. Let's just hope that Far Cry 4 lives up to the Far Cry 3 that it is being successor to, and that, you know, some of the places with a less good reputation for what they're developing are not given too much of the task, so hopefully it'll be mostly internal to Ubisoft Montreal. Ubisoft, please. Now, part of the reason is that Ubisoft have actually said that they've gone from having 11% of their income from PC to 15% last year. Well, that's an increase of over a third. That's pretty good, so if anything's going to make you stand up and take notice, it's that. I think the part of the reason that people haven't been taking PC seriously is because a lot of people have been going, PC sales are falling. PC market's definitely not there for games, which is complete bollocks, because yes, PC sales are falling, but PC sales are falling because instead of buying low-end PCs, people are buying iPads and tablets and other sort of things like that, and small netbooks. But for actual PC gaming, the PC gaming market has been growing, and it was definitely growing at the end of the last console cycle, and people were just like, oh, it's just growing because, you know, the consoles are, you know, we're waiting for new consoles to come out, the consoles are showing their age. But now we've got the new consoles out, we're still seeing PC gaming growing, and, well, you could say that's due to the new consoles being, you know, a bit lacking in terms of games. Or you could say it's in terms of the fact that they're actually just, well, kind of old. They're running a mobile chipset of an equivalent of a GPU that came out like 4 years ago, so they're not as powerful as PCs. And it's possible it's that, or it's possible it's just we've got more savvy consumers these days after being dicked over by, you know, a lot of the exclusivity you get on consoles and so on, which is, of course, the buzz at the moment with, you know, it being revealed that Lara Croft, the next one, will, of course, not be an exclusive, it will be a timed exclusive. Which actually brings me on to something I just want to mention very briefly. The term exclusive has been used for a lot of games. For instance, Lara Croft was told to be, oh, the next Lara Croft game is going to be exclusive to Xbox One. And then it was revealed it's going to be a timed exclusive, i.e. it's exclusive until it's released X amount later on a different console. And we've also heard the term exclusive used for things like Titanfall, when in fact it is exclusive to Microsoft and not exclusive to Xbox like they have been buzzing. What they mean often by exclusive is it's exclusive to our console and not the other one. Forget PC, forget mobile ports, etc. Just, you know, the other console isn't getting it. And they also mean for a while often. Honestly, I'm someone who thinks if you say exclusive, you mean exclusive. No strings attached. You can't, in speech, you cannot put an asterisk and then put below, you know, for a limited time, unless you actually say that out loud. So I honestly think that, you know, I think advertising standards agencies need to take a good, long, hard look at the use of the term exclusive, and possibly tell certain companies, Sony and Microsoft in particular, that they need to start using it properly. It would just be a lot easier for everyone involved, otherwise it is just misleading. And finally, Paradox. So I love Paradox, just a disclaimer there. They're a fairly nice company, mostly devs, less bullshit PR. And, well, their stuff tends to be quite nice. I mean, they have had a previous history of, you know, a high number of bugs, but they generally get things done, and they're fairly consumer-friendly, and they're fairly savvy when it comes to that. Now, Paradox in their Gamescom announced a few new things. They announced a couple of expansion packs, but one of the things that I found interesting is when they were talking about tutorials in Europa Universalis 4 and Crusader Kings 2, both of which are basically considered to have a difficulty cliff. Maybe not as much as a difficulty cliff as some games, but they are certainly basically the equivalent of, you know, the Eiger or the Matterhorn in terms of the difficulty curve. They are pretty damn hard to get into. What they said was, well, we think that, you know, Let's Plays do a good job of it, and, you know, that's fine, we're happy with that, we're not really going to change how the tutorials for either game work. And, well, you know, that's great for me as a YouTuber. It means, you know, people have to come to my channel to figure out how to play the game, or, you know, another channel like mine. I don't think it's possibly the best for consumers. I'm a fan of having, you know, having everything you need to play the game in the game, and to a certain extent that does include a tutorial, or at least some sort of direction. And, well, EU4 and Crusader Kings 2 do have some help. Notably, their tooltips are very useful. There are tooltips on basically everything. I wish more games would do that. Being able to mouse over everything and get an idea of what it does, that's absolutely brilliant. They don't actually have a proper in-depth tutorial that teaches you all you need to know, and you really do need to resort to Let's Play videos. Honestly, this is something I will criticize Paradox for, because as much as I love them, I do think that you need everything inside the game to be able to play it. And well, technically you could play it. It's like giving someone a nuclear reactor in created IKEA form and telling them to build it without an instruction manual. It's not really going to happen. So yes, Paradox, I love you, but please, tutorial. Anyway, I'm going to call it there. I've been EnterElysium, and by the way, I want some feedback. I've done a couple of videos now using this different format of just using boilerplate gameplay with me talking over it. Let me know what you think about that, because it's a bit easier for me to do, it's a bit quicker for me to do than actually having to set up my recording and record me. It also means that I don't have to shave every day because I'm incredibly lazy. Right, I'm going to end it here. I've been EnterElysium. If you have liked today's episode of IRL News, please remember to like, and if you're not subscribed and you want to keep up with gaming news more, or you just want to check out any of my other videos, subscribe if you wouldn't mind. As always, stay shiny.